everybody. Welcome back to the Coffee Breath podcast. My name is Taylor, and not only do I have some coffee breath, but I have some interesting topics to share with you. So grab a drink, grab some herb, whatever your vice is or no vice. Sit back, relax, and let's just chat. So today's topic, today is the 4th when I'm recording. Of course, this is coming out on Sunday, but right now it's Friday. So with that being said, I'm going to be reading from, sorry, I feel like I have like a little something in my throat. So I'm going to be reading from the Daily Stoic. I was just browsing around, I know how bad of me, but I was browsing around Amazon. I know I should just look at bookstores online and try to support them. I have, but I was just, drinking some wine, scrolling through Amazon, and I was like, all right, I need to find more self-help books for myself. I have so many. That's actually what is underneath this. It's not actually a desk, it's a bookcase. It's an IKEA bookshelf with just a bunch of books. Most of them never read fully through because that's just who I am as a person, working on that. But this is something that's really easy. I just wanted something where I open it up, I read a daily meditation, something to contemplate on. And especially during these days of the pandy, I don't have a lot going on. So then my mind doesn't have a lot to do. So then my mind gets lazy. So I'm like, I need to read more. And I need to ponder the universe a little bit more. I used to do that all the time. But then, life and work gets in the way, or just whatever gets in the way. But yeah, so that's something that I'm trying to get back to. So the Daily Stoic, it's 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. This is by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. I really like it so far. Really, really simple things. I mean, not simple, but it's just really kind of cut to the point. It's not some grandiose out there, book that you have to read through. It just gives you little nuggets of wisdom. So opening up to today, September 4th, how can you know if you've never been tested? So it always starts with a quote. This one is by Seneca. So it starts with a quote, and then it'll give you the contemplation little blurb underneath that. So excuse you, I'm trying to record a podcast. Why are you crying? I bet you could hear that. That's my roommate's cat. Chill, babe. Okay, so quote from Seneca. I judge you unfortunate because you have never lived through misfortune. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you. So I'm going to read that one more time. I judge you unfortunate because you have never lived through misfortune. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you are capable of, not even you. So then the little blurb underneath is, most people who have gone through difficult periods in their life come to later wear those experiences as badges of honor. Those were the days, they might say. Those were the days. Does anybody remember? I think that was, what show is that? Old show. Old married couple, where it was your traditional old nuclear family, where it's your white nuclear family of the man comes home, expects his dinner, and the wife is this obedient little housewife. I think it was All in the Family. I don't know. I could be bad. No, I don't know. Anyways, not important. See, my mind does funny things. So those were the days, they might say, even though now they live in much better circumstances. To be young and hungry again, another might wistfully say. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, or I wouldn't change a thing about it. As tough as those periods were, they were ultimately formative experiences. They made those people who they are. There's another benefit of so-called misfortune. Having experienced and survived it, we walk away with a better understanding of our own capacity and inner strength. Passing a trial by fire is empowering because you know that in the future you can survive similar adversity. What does not kill me makes me stronger, Nietzsche said. So today, if things look like they might take a bad turn or your luck might change, why worry? This might be one of those formative experiences you will be grateful for later. Yeah. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath and let that settle in for a moment. Okay. So how can you know if you've never been tested? So I have a little bit of notes that I wrote down, so I'm just going to be reading from that. So going through difficult periods in your life, these have shaped you to where you are now and who you are now. And like the book said, most would say that they wouldn't change it for the world, even though suffering and loss and pain, they're grateful because, again, it brought them to where they are now. And that's kind of, me hoping that they're happy with their circumstances of where they are now. But again, isn't that kind of the point of like the huge point of any spiritual teaching is just acceptance. Even in the worst situations, you just accept where you are. That doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck where you are. It's just acknowledging and not being indifferent to it. You're accepting it. You're like, okay, yeah, this is really shitty right now. We can all agree the quarantine, it's all really shitty right now. But we can't fight it off, we need to do what we can, be preventative, be smart, take precautions, but we also need to accept that this is just the way that it is right now. And it's not going to be like this forever. Everything is temporary. But again, just accepting where you are. And then once you accept it, you're like, oh shit, okay, now I'm acknowledging it, and now I can do something about it. Or you might go down the route where you don't do something about it, and I hope that you don't do that. I hope that it's easy to not take the hard road, right? Duh. It's really easy to just get comfortable. But shit, dude, your soul, you are not going to grow as a person if you just stay in your little fucking bubble. Pop that bubble. That sounds weird. Okay, so burst your bubble. That still sounds weird. So get out of your comfort zone and do something scary, and then you're going to be like, oh shit, you know what? That was kind of scary, but I did that. Okay, now what can I do? Obviously there's certain things to be fearful of. Don't go just into the jungle without any knowledge and try to go hang out with tigers and shit. No, that's real danger. But maybe you're I've always wanted to do stand-up. Again, the pandy is not really helping anything and people's dreams, but it's hey, I want to try stand-up. So once the world's open, I'm going to go and I'm going to get up there on an open mic night. That's terrifying. Or some people say, I can't believe that you put yourself on, YouTube and stuff, or, you have a podcast or whatever. And I'm yeah, it's terrifying. I sweat. I'm sweating right now. And I'm just casually talking, something that we all do. So do something that's, scary to you, and then you can be oh, shit, look, I conquered that mountain. Now I can go up a little bit bigger of a mountain. And I've said this on the podcast before, the story of the lotus. A lotus flower begins its journey in the dark, muddy waters. And through this density and this darkness, it keeps reaching and it keeps growing towards the light until it eventually breaks the threshold of water and air. And then it's open to the air, and it's open to the world, and it's open to the sunshine. Or the saying, there's always a rainbow after the storm, or whatever that, I know it sounds like cliche or whatever, but saying those kinds of quotes to me to myself when I'm feeling, when I'm in it and I'm feeling it, again, it's sometimes as cliche and cheesy as they sound, they really, really help. Like, I wish that there might be like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow every time. Like, every time that I have a mental breakdown, if I could get like some kind of monetization from that. No, actually, that's bad. That would create a terrible, terrible cycle. Because then I'd be like, ooh, I want more money. So then I need to have more breakdowns. But yeah. So if you can weather the storm, then you can make it through. And then there's like clear blue skies. And the only way is through. We always try to take all these detours and these different routes to get around the giant obstacle in front of us. But sometimes taking all those routes, it just makes us take like more time, more energy, and then we just kind of get led back to that difficult route that we were on the first place. So it's like if you just stay and just like keep going through, then it's going to be a little bit more time and like energy efficient for you. Or else we just keep learning, we just keep getting hit by the same lessons in life over and over and over again. And like a big lesson for me, like I'm not really quite sure what the underlying total message is. Like if it was wrapped up in like a fortune cookie, I'm not sure what that like one little sentence would be. I have some guesses, but I'm not definite. But a big thing of mine is like self-worth, self-love, like self-esteem, things like that. So I dated, all of these unhealthy people and put myself into unhealthy situations and relationships. And, if it wasn't boyfriend number one, I may have thought I learned that lesson. But then once boyfriend number two came around, it's the same thing. It's like the same, what do we want to call them? Like demons or the dragon that we have to slay, or like that obstacle, the Ganesh, if we will. It was always showing up, but it just had a different name. It had like a different vessel. It was the same energy though. And until I thought I would learn my lesson. I would think I learned my lesson, but then it kept showing up. And I kept thinking that like, oh, now I'm taking the right way, or, ooh, I'm doing the right thing. And maybe in the time I thought that I was, hey, Astro, buddy, this is a solo podcast, honey, so shush. I thought that I was doing all the right things, but really, I wasn't truly learning my lesson. I kept like running away from it to the next guy, thinking like, oh, this is my white knight in shining armor or whatever they call it. And it's like, no, be that for yourself, girl or boy or whatever, You gotta stop being the damsel in distress of your own fucking life and start being the goddamn hero or the heroine, Heroine? You know what I'm trying to say. And I really, really do believe in like what does not kill you makes you stronger. I totally believe in that. And I don't think that it needs to be so like, I don't think it needs to be taken so literal. Like, oh, well, it kills you or whatever. And like, no, there's plenty of people that I know personally or that I just see around us or celebrities or in the public eye. There are so many zombies walking among us. The living dead. Like, not literal zombies where there's like, flesh wounds and stuff. And they have like black lava goo inside them. Sorry, I'm reading World War Z, and so that's kind of on my brain. I thought that it was appropriate for the pandy. Turns out it's causing a lot of chaos inside of me, but it's cool. It's like a scary movie, but you're reading it, and so then it's in your mind, and then you go to bed, and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm so scared. But there's plenty of zombies walking among us. Dead dreams, and dead broken hearts, like that dead soul. And you can see it. When you look into somebody's eyes, you always try to look for that little bit of sparkle. Try to surround yourself with the people that have the sparkle in their eyes. Not like a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of sparkle where they're like really charismatic and they can kind of, be like charming like that. No, it's like look into their eyes, into their soul. They say that they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. And I believe that. There are plenty of people when you look into their eyes that it's just, even if they're bright blue eyes, there's like a deadness into them. You know? You can see like the life literally drained from their eyes. But, you know, I try to always come from a place of personal perspective because truly, honestly, that's all we have. You know, we can make our opinions and our judgments, but I'm trying my best to always just come from a personal standpoint. So, you know, there's been many, many a times and moments in my lifetime where I've wanted to give up. Like the ship is capsized and I'm treading water and I can't stay afloat and I'm so exhausted. And there's like this Rose Broad over here who took the last piece of like floating driftwood and she's not letting anybody else on it, even though there could be room for one of, you know, a particular size and stature and weight. We could probably make it work. But anyways, see, this is me just trying to like deflect and try to make light of heaviness, but that's just a coping mechanism. Not saying it's a healthy one, but you know, it's something it's one that has helped me survive over the years, working through it. But getting back to my point, there have been a lot of times when I've wanted to give up, and there's times when I have, you know, whether it was numbing myself through relationships or alcohol, drugs, partying, or even that time of swallowing a bottle of pills. I am so grateful that I kept going, that I kept treading the water. And again, even though I'm tired, I'm fucking exhausted, I'm so grateful that I haven't let go. And now that I do a lot of like self-analyzation and like self-reflection, trying to unlearn, to relearn, to reteach myself, I've learned that, you know, I might have been making it a little bit harder for myself, a little bit more difficult. See, I was treading water when maybe I could have just went to my back and floated for a little bit to give myself a break. So through various forms of therapy, you know, you learn these different tools to like keep in your back pocket. So you have them with you at all times for when moments like these happen, because we're humans, dude, and that's life, and they're gonna fucking happen. And, you know, you have to be that survivor for yourself. And surround yourself with people and pets. I put that in there in quotes, and pets, you know, who aren't like this broad rose, you know, where maybe these people will like let you chill and rest on their floating, you know, piece of wood, and you guys can take turns, and, you know, it takes a village, you know. But again, at the end of the day, it is what comes down to like yourself. Like, you have to be there for yourself, but also like it is very important to not isolate. I'm the queen of that, and because I'm afraid of being hurt, but that's just a scary obstacle that I need to get over, and I need to be able to, you know, let people in, and so that way when I am treading water, somebody can reach down their hand and like help pull me back up, you know. Point being, yeah, surround yourself with people who are going to keep you afloat, keep you uplifted, not people who are going to pull you down and like literally make you both drown. A side note, if you are ever, you know, trying to rescue a drowning person, watch out, because they're in a state of panic and in survival mode, and they can pull you under to stay afloat. You know, lifeguards, they have those donut floating devices for a reason. Side note tangent. And having experienced, so the quote, having experienced and survived it, we walk away with a better understanding of our own capacity and inner strength. And like, damn, that is so true. So true. Sorry, I'm keeping time here. Okay. So, until you're actually forced to experience like true hardships, and especially things like traumas, because like, come on, if you're human, we've all had them. But like, you really don't know how powerful and how strong you are. Like that deep, deep primordial strength. For example, like a mother sees her child trapped under a car that weighs like a ton or like tons. And somehow, some way, she has the power to lift that car and like has enough adrenaline and the physical strength and power to lift that car and save her child. And now that's on that physical scale, but this also happens to us on a mental and an emotional scale. And just as a car can like literally crush our bones, these physical bones, certain life experiences can crush our minds, our psyche, our souls. And if we let it, though, that's what a lot of spiritual teachings are saying. It's like, yeah, all of these things you might think happen to you, but like you get to like you are the true decider of like, am I going to let this affect me? Or like, am I going to let this come in a positive or like a negative effect? But yeah, you never really know your true strength until you're faced to use it. And another example, personal to me, is breaking up with that first boyfriend, that loser that I've mentioned before that, used to abuse me, tell me what to do, tell me what to wear, tell me what to think, who I could hang out with. I felt so stuck. I really didn't think that I could, like I had it in me or I was capable. I didn't think I had the capacity to break up with him. Like I was in too deep or something. And I know, like looking back, at 31 years old, I'm like, wow, Taylor, if I thought that was hard, shit, girl, because you're going to have some more obstacles that are going to be a lot worse. So try to get over that one. It sounds so childlike, so like kind of immature. But in the moment, again, I really didn't think that I had it in me. And I was also scared of what maybe the consequences would be as well. Like not to paint them out like I'm Jennifer Lopez in the movie Enough, which is a phenomenal movie. Really kind of, I don't know, it made an impression on me. But, I was a little nervous. But I did it, and it wasn't pretty. It was pretty nasty. But I remember how fucking invincible I felt. Like I felt like I just climbed a mountain, or like I won the show Survivor, like against all odds. Or like I fought amongst the Avengers or something. I felt like that true inner goddess warrior, like power energy in me. Like that mama bear quality, like don't fuck with me. Or else I'm going to like snatch your heart out. Because like I'm a goddamn cheetah, like I am untamed. Don't fuck with me. But then, I relapsed and then I dated a bunch of guys that, weren't too healthy for me. But those are the obstacles of my story. The dragons that I had to slay. But, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to read that last sentence again. So today, if things look like they might take a bad turn or your luck might change, why worry? This might be one of those formative experiences you will be grateful for later. And there's that saying that goes something like, if you feel like you're in it right now, then that means that something great is about to happen for you. And I had previously written to you, and then I was like, no, because we, definitely including myself in this, we need to remember that life does not happen to us. It happens for us. But I guess that all just comes back to perspective. You can see, like, why is this always happening to me? Oh, the world, or oh, the universe, or God hates me, or like whatever the thoughts are. Maybe try, because I'm guilty. All this comes again from just the life that I've lived so far. Lessons that I've learned and I'm still learning, and still trying to just master that. Stop trying to look at it like, why does this always happen to me? Man, I'm the victim. And start being like, you know what? I accept that happened, But now I'm going to take that power, instead of like pushing it out, it's almost like a hose. Like you're outside and you're watering the garden or whatever. You have your hose, but you're not actually watering the garden. You're just spraying the hose onto the pavement, onto the concrete street. And you're not really doing anything with it. And you can spew all of that energy out into the world. But what if, I heard this from from a YouTube video. It's like, what if instead of spraying the hose aimlessly out into the world, when really nobody fucking cares what your opinion is anyways, and what you really have to say, what if we turned that back onto ourselves and made it more like a fluid system, like a well? And when we're pumping that water, but that water is coming up for us so that way we can drink, so we can cook, so we can survive. You know, it's like, where are you putting that energy? Where can you take that energy? Where can you put it? Because again, I'm very guilty of just being like, the world sucks and I fucking hate everything. Almost like this punk teenage anarchist, right? But, you know, I feel like that's like a little piece of who I am as a woman, because we are not just one thing. We are a vast a variety show. You know, we're 31 fucking flavors. So pick which one you want to be today, you know, or maybe put them all in and have a smorgasbord. But yeah, try to start looking at it like, you know what? Yeah, that fucking sucked. That happened. But now I'm going to pick myself up by my fucking bootstraps and I'm going to keep on keeping on, or whatever the phrase is. So again, that was from the Daily Stoic. If that sounds interesting to you, if that resonates with you, definitely don't be like me. Don't Amazon Prime it out of convenience. Go on and try to look up like a local bookstore or a bookstore that can ship it to you. You know, something to help out the community, because I did not do that. So maybe you can do that for me. I was sharing it on sometimes. I was trying to do every day, but being the person that I am, I stopped doing things normally, like either a couple days or like 2 weeks into it. But I try to share the Daily Stoic, little bits of meditation on my Instagram stories. And I think my friend Jordan, I think that she actually bought the book. So, you know, hey, what's up, Jordan? Thank you for listening and thank you for supporting the podcast. But yeah, so it's a really interesting book. But aside from that, let's get into some tarot. I like to end the show. I like to end the episodes with just something to, I know we had our contemplation earlier, the main topic of the episode, but now I'm just leaving you with another little nugget to ponder about. So I'm going to shuffle one more time. What do we need to see today? I'm going to cut the deck into 3 in a random order, put it back into one pile. And let's just pull the top card, which is the Ace of Cups. Oh, wait, where's my book? Okay, Ace of Cups. So cups are emotions. They deal with the emotions of ourselves. And if I can find them in the book. I'm doing that annoying thing where when people are trying to look for something and they're multitasking, but they're still trying to keep your interest, they talk in this trance-like talk. So I apologize for that. Oh, Love's Beginnings. Oh, I think we might have gotten this one before, but I could be wrong. So Ace marks the beginning of exciting new phases. Since the Suit of Cups deals specifically with love and emotion, you're in for a real treat. Ooh. Expect to enter a blissful time of health, joy, and friendship. Oh, that sounds good. A new love could be on the horizon. You may feel that you're making a whole new start. Just go with it and allow this feeling to revitalize your spirit. Oh, that's nice. I like that. New beginnings are always good. I know everyone always wants to be at the top. We always start at the bottom and then we get to the top, but you know, sometimes when you're at the top, all there is to do is like kind of go down. Maybe not. perspective, right? Maybe it isn't just to go down. Maybe you can let yourself maybe just go down from there, or maybe you just keep on going up. But is there ever like a roof to it? Is there ever a limit? I hope not. Or is that when we just kind of like ascend into these extraterrestrial, transcendental, like ethereal beings of like light and consciousness? Because honestly, I could take that right now over this dense fucking body on this dense planet. But again, I know that I fucking chose this, right? That's what the spiritual teachings tell me, that I chose this exact time and life and body and vessel and soul, or my soul chose it, or like my soul chose a soul. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all of that out. As much as I read, as much as I listen, as much as I like take in and consume all of that, I'm never really able to like regurgitate it back out to anybody. But B, I'm just always, my mind's just this giant like ball of yarn that's all tangled. And it would be really nice if it could just kind of get pulled out slowly and reorganized into a nice little organized ball of chaos of my mind. Well, this was a really interesting topic to ponder about. I hope that you enjoyed. But yeah, that's what I do most of the time now. Just lay around, ponder life, the cosmos, my very own existence and identity. But yeah, so also we are going to be moving to Thursdays. Ooh, yay! Ooh. Oh God, that was cringy. Okay, so hashtag Thirsty Thursdays. We're going to be coming out on Thursdays because I thought of that cute and cool hashtag. So why not? I don't know. I feel like Sundays, everybody's kind of busy doing what they're doing, and then they get into the week, and then you kind of forget or whatever. So I'm just trying out a new day. Just changing things up, keeping you on your toes. Find gratitude today if you can in the everyday little things. The small things, they add up to big things. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time, which is this coming Thursday. All right, peace.